Crossroads. Each week, Chevrolet presents a true story based on the actual experiences of American clergymen, pastor, priest, or rabbi. The men who take part in the everyday drama of people at the crossroads of life. These exciting true stories have been selected by our board of advisors. Captain Maurice M. Witherspoon, Father George B. Ford, and Dr. William F. Rosenblum.
Our story begins on a New Year's Eve in New York City. In the parsonage of his church in New York, the reverend and his wife are getting ready to entertain a few friends at a New Year's Eve party.
Do make yourself comfortable, Mr. Gordonson. I'll tell my husband you're here.
Thank you. I must apologize for breaking in on your New Year's party.
It's not really a party, just a few old friends. May I offer you some refreshment? Fruit punch, lemonade?
No, thanks.
Sorry, I can't make it a whiskey and soda.
So am I. Airport, information, please. Flight 27 to Los Angeles, 1 a.m. Is it on schedule? Thank you.
Mr. Gordonson, how nice of you to come. I hardly expected so popular a man to find time on New Year's Eve.
Well, like you, Reverend, my work is never done. And as long as you had the final check ready, I couldn't think of a better way to wind up the old year.
Of course, the check. Here you are. Certified. $5,000 to complete our contribution to the Helpful Hand Fund.
Thank you, Reverend. $20,000 in all. A very generous contribution. You and your church are doing a wonderful thing for my boys. This new mission house on the Bowery will bring hopeless men back from the grave.
Some friends of Mr. Gordonson's.
Mr. Gordonson? Forgive the intrusion, Reverend. My name is Waldo. This is Detective Cady.
How are you, O'Donnell? Long time no see.
O'Donnell? This man's name is Gordonson.
Temporarily. How much did he take you for, Reverend?
Take me for?
Yeah. Money. Donations. Contributions. That's his racket. All right, O'Donnell. Give. Yeah, certified check, $5,000. I'll have to keep this as evidence, Reverend.
Flight 27, Los Angeles, 1 a.m. Going to Rose Bowl game?
All right, O'Donnell. Let's go.
Well, why don't you explain to them? You can prove your identity. That's not true. Is it, Mr. Gordonson?
The name is O'Donnell. Nice working with you, Reverend.
Don't take it too hard, Reverend. You're not the first one to fall for this racket. Why, this fella's raised funds for everything. From a cathedral to a dog pound. How about that farm in Kentucky for broken down racehorses, Bill? You raised $50,000, I heard.
You heard wrong. It was 75.
See what I mean? Well, good night and a Happy New Year.
Gullible pastor falls for ancient charity fund racket.
They make it sound so horrible.
Yes, horrible. But true. I couldn't get my mind off poor Gordonson locked in a cold cell.
I'm more concerned about what you're going to say to that self-righteous stuffed shirt, Mr. James P. Elwood.
I'll get it. Hello.
This is James P. Elwood.
Oh, hello, Mr. Elwood. Happy New Year.
Is it? How could you fall for such an old-time swindle? How could you possibly sponsor such an obvious crook?
Well, you endorsed him. The board okayed his references.
$20,000. And you even helped him collect it. There'll be a meeting of the Board of Elders tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Be there.
The strangest thing just happened. There was a knock at the back door. I thought it was a reporter. But when I opened the door, there was an odd-looking little man with an old beat-up raincoat and a hat he must have found in a rubbish can. He asked me to give you this.
No name or address.
He merely wanted to know if this was the manse and was I the minister's wife. What is it?
But this is from Gordonson.
You mean O'Donnell? What does he want? Money for a lawyer?
Listen to this. Words cannot express my deep sorrow for having involved you in this unfortunate affair. Meantime, to assure yourself that I acted in good faith, look in the wastebasket underneath your desk. Money.
How much?
$1,000 bills. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14. $14,000. And here's my personal note for $1,000. The money's been restored, gentlemen. The church suffers no loss.
I'm not so sure. You say you received this $14,000 from O'Donnell?
He advised me where to find it.
And in exchange for relieving your conscience about the stolen money, you deliberately pleaded with the court to show leniency toward this culprit.
May I remind you, I'm a minister of the gospel. I bear malice toward no man.
Not even to this crook who's made you a public laughingstock?
There is such a thing as a golden rule.
There's also an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
For the first time, I feel I've failed completely. My sermons have meant nothing, which proves how inadequate I am in my job. Gentlemen, I ask you to accept my resignation.
Several months later, the Reverend and his wife found a new parish in a small city not far from New York. On the other side of town stood a penitentiary wherein, by a strange coincidence, dwelled the other part of our story. Convict 5507, Bill O'Donnell.
Hey, come on, throw something in the pot.
Yeah, I already did.
You didn't. Come on, loosen up. A quarter will get you a big chance in the Christmas raffle.
I got no dough. You received a carton of cigarettes this morning, Hanson. Throw in a pack. It's good for a quarter.
What's with the raffle?
Any number of fine gifts. Watches, cigars, cameras. You stand a chance to win a prize worth $200. Spike, give the gentleman a ticket.
You give it away.
What's worth $200?
A 1946 convertible.
Where am I going to drive it? Up and down the cell block?
You turn it back to the second-hand dealer and get the cash.
Give me 2 more tickets.
Come on, break it up, break it up. Give or keep moving. Hey, give me 4 more tickets. 2 more, 2 more. O'Donnell.
Yes?
You got company up front. Your mouthpiece.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Magruder, you're way behind the other 6 boys today. You haven't made enough to pay rental for your Santa Claus suit.
Rental? This was donated for free like everything else you're raffling off around here. Don't let the whiskers fool you. This is Magruder. Remember?
Shh, pipe down. You'll get your cut.
You didn't make it.
1,500, 2,500 and all. Can't you get started with that?
I told you I can't move without $5 grand.
So you're gonna let me rot in here unless I can dig up the rest of your lousy fee.
Huh. If you don't like it in here, you can always put in for a parole.
That's great advice from you. Get out.
I wish you the same. You'll think of something.
3 guesses. What day of the month is it?
The 1st. Oh, I don't know how we'll ever make it.
But we always do. Almost. Mr. Hodge.
Who?
The head of the milk company.
Goodness, do we owe him that much?
He talks a blue streak. I'll try to get rid of him. Mr. Hodge, what a delightful surprise.
My regular delivery man's home with a grip, so I'm round making the collections today.
It's Mr. Hodge, dear.
Well, Mr. Hodge, mighty nice of you to call. How are you?
Kind of beat, short-handed. So much sickness going around. Well, sure feels good to get off my feet for a while.
A check for Mr. Hodge, dear.
Say, that was a mighty fine sermon last Sunday, Reverend.
Thank you.
How are things going on down at the church?
Oh, I don't mind telling you. It's been quite a struggle. As you know, the old place is about ready to fall down. The old oil burner just got through the winter, but with the spring rains, the roof is beginning to leak.
Say, you want to get a hold of a fella they got up there at the penitentiary. He'd solve all your problems in a month.
At the penitentiary?
My company supplies all the dairy products for the penitentiary. Other merchants in town do considerable business up there. Beef and vegetables and tobacco and plumbing, just about everything they use. Well, now, this fella is always raising money for some fund or other. Well, take last Christmas. He ran a raffle. The merchants donated all the prizes, boxes of cigars, pipes, toys, jewelry, radios. Oh, this fella's a real promoter.
Is his name O'Donnell?
Yes, you know him?
No, but my husband does.
Oh, say, he didn't try to nick you, did he?
Not lately. What cause is he promoting this time?
I think he calls it the Welfare Athletic Fund. I gave him a check for $100. Most of the other boys chipped in, too. It promotes goodwill, you know, amongst the yardbirds. Otherwise, you're apt to have the wheels drop off your delivery trucks. Well, I got to be getting back on the job. Oh, thanks, Reverend. Say, you ought to make a deal with the warden to borrow this guy for a couple of weeks. He'll get you out of hock.
Maurice, where are you going?
To make a deal with the warden.
The warden will be with you in a moment, sir.
Thank you.
(15507) reporting to the warden. 15507 is here.
Have him wait.
Yes, sir.
Wait here.
Gordon's.
Reverend. O'Donnell's the name, remember? What are you doing here?
I'm pastor of the Maple Street Church here in town.
It's a small world.
Strange thing. I was thinking about you today.
Not unkindly, I hope. You know, I can never thank you enough for helping me in court.
How are you getting along?
Reverend, it's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. I've been spiritually reborn. I met God face to face, and on my knees I asked his forgiveness, as I now ask yours.
He'll forgive you, I'm sure, just as I have. Is there anything I can do for you?
Well, if it's not asking too much, a word from you to the parole board would help a lot.
The parole board? Are you eligible?
Any day now. Time off for good behavior and all. My record's good. They've made me a trustee. I feel that I've learned my lesson. And there's so much good I can do on the outside.
Are you quite sure you're cured? I mean, how do you know you won't have the urge to...
Oh, that's all behind me, Reverend, all behind. God has showed me the error of my ways. I've had it.
O'Donnell, I'll come straight to the point. It's been brought to my attention you've been raising money for various funds ever since you've been here. I understand your latest enterprise is called the Welfare Athletic Fund. You've been collecting money from the tradesmen. What is this, another helpful hand?
Oh, I don't blame you for thinking the worst, Reverend. I'm only trying to do a little good for my fellow prisoners. Poor lads.
Spiritually reborn, but still up to the same old tricks, and for a while you had me fooled.
Well, this is no racket, Reverend. It's a legitimate charity. And don't think that those big-hearted tradesmen won't take it off their income tax either. I've raised several $100s for this athletic fund. These boys are going to have the best equipment money can buy. Heaven knows they have little enough sunshine in their drab lives. Oh, here's a letter I received from Belding and Company, the biggest sporting goods house in the country. Listen to this. Your itemized list has been carefully checked, and we are happy to inform you that we can handle the entire order. We can guarantee you the finest baseball and track equipment, and the uniforms will be the same style and color scheme used by the Brooklyn Dodgers this past season. We have noted your underlined instructions, no stripes on the uniforms. We await further instructions from you as to shipping, date, etc., etc. Does that sound like a swindle?
No, Bill. I can't say that it does. Sorry I doubted you.
I know, Reverend. Once burned, always shy of a hot stove, huh?
The warden will see you right away, Reverend.
All right.
Reverend, will you shake hands with me? Seeing you again is like a breath of new life. And don't forget the parole board.
I'll give it some very careful thought, Bill.
I'm sorry to keep you waiting, Reverend. O'Donnell, I just want to show you this, and then you can get back to work. Excuse me, Reverend. This just came. It's from the Belding Sporting Goods Company. Dear Warden James, Bill O'Donnell's eloquent plea for athletic equipment touched me deeply. Needless to say, I am only too happy to send you the athletic equipment and uniforms you need so badly. With our compliments, absolutely free of charge. As per request, you may expect your shipment any day. Sincerely yours, J.P. Belding. Congratulations, O'Donnell. This fella has been doing a terrific job raising money around here.
So I understand. Would you mind if I ask him a question, Warden?
Far away.
What have you done with the money you've been collecting?
Well, if I answer that, it would give the whole thing away.
Will you explain to the warden, or shall I?
The cat's out of the bag. Warden, this was supposed to be a surprise. We knew we would get the athletic equipment for free. But we actually raised this money for another purpose.
Reverend, it sort of restores your faith in mankind. This fella deserves a break.
The Reverend has already volunteered to put in a word with the parole board.
Good for you. And you can count on my recommendation.
Thank you, Warden. Thank you.
O'Donnell got by the Reverend again, and later, with the warden's help, O'Donnell appeared before the parole board. Of course, the Reverend helped the matter along by speaking eloquently in his behalf. O'Donnell himself outdid the minister with his sincere, forthright, and charming appeal. Parole was granted, and the parolee placed in the custody of the Reverend. The Reverend got O'Donnell a job as janitor in a friend's parish in New York. Once a week, O'Donnell called the Reverend to report the good work he was doing and how happy he was in his work at the church. The Reverend was delighted. He felt he had done a good job. And now, it was New Year's Eve again. Just the Reverend and his wife to celebrate a quiet evening at home by themselves.
Do you know what I was just thinking?
No, what were you just thinking?
This is the nicest New Year's Eve we've spent in years.
You sure you don't miss the big town, your old friends, Central Park House?
It's a faraway dream. This is real.
Darling, would you mind if I turn on the lamp?
Not at all. Read your newspaper.
I've got a feeling this is going to be a very good year.
What is it?
He's done it again.
Who?
O'Donnell. Look at this.
Church janitor successful in church bell campaign.
But this, just listen. The Church Bell Repair Fund closed its campaign over a week ago, well oversubscribed. The man responsible for raising the necessary quota of $10,000 was none other than the janitor of the church, William O'Donnell.
Look at that picture, proud as a peacock.
In recognition of his valiant efforts in collecting this money in an incredibly short period of time, Mr. O'Donnell has been appointed sexton, and a dinner party's being arranged in his honor. Angela, get the timetable. Look up the next train for New York. I should have warned Dr. Carter.
Here's one. 9:35.
It's already 10:15.
Oh.
Operator, get me to New York Police Headquarters immediately. Emergency.
Here's one. 10:20. Oh, no. It's a local. Take you hours.
Police Department. Lieutenant Cady, please. No. Cady. C-A-D-Y. Bunker Squad.
Dear, there isn't another train for 2 hours.
Lieutenant Cady? Oh, on the other phone. Yes, I'll hold.
Here it is. 10:27. It's an express. You can just make it.
All right, here. Tell Lieutenant Cady to meet me at 147.5 West 9th. I'll be there before midnight.
147.5 West 9th.
Yes, that's where O'Donnell lives. Goodbye, darling.
Goodbye. Happy New Year.
147.5 West 9th Street met O'Donnell's basement living room in the church.
Listen to that. There goes the church bell fund.
Well, this is uncanny. I was about to phone you at midnight. It's wonderful of you to drop in on me like this.
Cut the act, Bill. It won't work.
That'll get it. You will. Lieutenant Cady. Well, I've had a lot of nice things happen to me tonight, but this is tops.
How could you do it to me, Bill? After all I've gone through for you.
Where's the loot? Oh, I get it. You read it in the papers about raising money for the church bell.
Yes, I read it in the paper. Your ego was your downfall. You just couldn't resist publicizing your thievery, could you?
Thievery? Oh, you got it wrong, Reverend. This is on the level.
Get your hat, O'Donnell.
You really mean it, don't you? Now, this really hurts. I thought you'd be kind of proud of what I've done.
Proud? I'm ashamed I let you use me to front for you.
Now, you won't believe anything I say.
How can I? You lied to me about the prison charities. You lied to the warden about the athletic fund. You lied to the parole board. You had no intentions of going straight.
Shall I get your mouthpiece on the phone?
No. No, I won't need any lawyer this time. I'll get it.
Is Mr. O'Donnell in? I'm the Reverend Simon Carter of the Washington Square Church.
Come right in, Reverend. We've got your man.
Mr. Carter, I came as soon as I heard about it. I just don't know what to say.
Well, neither do I. I can't believe O'Donnell really did it.
I should have confided in you from the first, but I feel entirely responsible.
You mean you helped Bill raise the money?
Oh, no. I thought he was cured. I was just as shocked as you must have been. I hope we're in time to recover the money.
The money has already been spent.
Oh, no. Well, I was afraid of it. Well, at least we're not too late to send this man back to prison where he belongs.
Prison? What does he mean, Bill? Back to prison?
There it is, Reverend. There's the bell.
Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful.
Not a flaw in it.
Bill did a noble job. I can well understand why you helped him so much in the past. Oh, he's told me of it many times. The parole and being in your custody. Your faith has made Bill what he is today.
That's right. That's on the level, Reverend. You don't have to worry about me anymore. I'm sure now.
You know, I'm ashamed about tonight. Will you forgive me?
How many times have you forgiven me? What do you say, huh?
I say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.